Hello, everyone. I just watched a movie last night, Possum. It was very interesting. It's about having a tormented childhood, also making a puppet and running away from your problems, ditching away and spiritually bypassing from the things that you really need to look at within your own life. And within this movie, it's psychologically about releasing an attachment, releasing repressed emotions of aggression and seeing ourselves through our weakest links, seeing through our mishaps, seeing through our own troubles. So what's interesting about this movie Possum is that you think that the main character is the long, spindly, spider-looking thing with the face that kind of looks like a vampire, if you will, that looks exactly like the main character. But it was really the person that he was writing about was his own uncle. So I love the symmetry and the symbolism of like the fox within the movie, because there was people that bullied him and made him, put his face within the fox after they just stomped on it. Also, the notepad where he was drawing all about the possum and also about his own childhood, but he was channeling from his own childhood and kind of coming from the standpoint of being, sexually assaulted, also being bullied. And the character in the movie just felt so dejected the entire time, like he didn't really know how to act. So really, this is a movie facing your own fears, facing your own inner failings, and also going through life not knowing how to be. And also what's interesting about this movie is that it makes you and leads you to believe that this main character is a creep, that he's just really tormented, that he's just kind of a psycho. And also the symbolism of carrying the bag everywhere he goes with the puppet, the long spindly thing that has the weird face. So he's carrying the bag around, he doesn't want to get rid of it, he doesn't know which way to get rid of it. And also I love the scenes where he's in the barracks and he's running away from the long spindly thing and it comes to life. But also the thing never really comes to life. It only comes to life as the reinforcement of his uncle, and how his childhood, losing his family within a fire. So there was a lot of different key elements to this movie, and majority of the movie, it's not really that visceral and it's not that terrifying, I would say. But I think at the last like 30-40 minute mark, it gets really terrifying with the dreams and also just the symmetry. But this does have a lot of flow. This does have something to be offered here, and I do think that this movie is very underrated because I was reading about it before I reviewed it. Very underrated. I think that this is a great work of art, and I think if you're a light worker, you'll understand. If you're someone who's meditatively kind, or if you're someone who's been through an abusive family life, I think that you'll really understand what this person was going through, and also you might even sympathize with him at the very end. Because you really don't know at the very end who this person is, because they're not very descriptive in this movie. The lines in the movie are very dry. I find it very nondescript. You don't really know what's going on. You're only experiencing the psychological torment of this releasing of the puppet, releasing of the monster, releasing of the sexual assault, releasing of the bullying. So it really touched on different things that I think a lot of people don't understand. And I think also the very fact that it was just lingering and it was something that was tucked away and then it kind of came to the surface. And one scene I really want to talk about is when he's looking at his family photo of his parents, and then this black rain comes over him and it's kind of like engulfs him, right? The black balloons, like the reciting of what the spindly possum is. Because the possum is symbolic of hiding away, wanting to tuck everything in, wanting to, run away from your problems. And what I felt with this movie, I felt really bad for the kidnapped kid, And I really felt bad for the main character at the end of the movie, of just psychologically, and the actor was like doing really good. I mean, because he was looking at the mirror and then he saw the possum, but then it didn't have any eyes. So kind of like um, this psychological roller coaster. I wouldn't even call it a horror movie because it's not really a horror movie. Because I thought the thing was going to come alive and like, mess with him. But it was the very fact of what was symbolic of being tortured, of being bullied, of, a lot of things that we experience, of being called names, feeling powerless. I think that this movie was a portrait of that, of feeling completely powerless and not being able to do anything about really anything. So I think if you're inclined to watch this, watch it with an open mind. And the first 30 minutes of the movie are kind of hard to watch. I almost wanted to shut it off, but I'm glad I didn't, because even though it was about a subject matter that was grotesque, that was disturbing, I do think that this movie has beauty and has quality to it. And I think anybody that wants to see that sometimes crazy things have to happen in order for things to be released. But yeah, very interesting movie, Possum.